It looks a little funny. That's all I gotta say. It looks grayed out. I don't know why. I don't know why. I don't know why. Anyways, okay. Let's change some stuff around here. All right. So today I've done it like 3 times. It's weird looking. It's weird looking. I'm gonna go. It's like grayed out, beiged out. I don't know what the. I don't know what the. Let's maybe turn the light down. I don't know. I don't know what that's about or why it's doing that. It doesn't normally do that. I don't know, guys. All right. It's coffee and tarot time. Okay. Coffee and tarot is basically where we get to sit down and spirit has a conversation. And we don't get to put any kind of parameters or anything else like that on it. Okay. Um, um, anywho, hold on. My thing. No time frames, no whatevers, right? It keeps coming through. So I want to acknowledge that it feels like Saint Expedity or whatever. I don't know. I say expedite because I'm American. Feels relevant or important, and maybe somebody that's you worked with here recently, or may need to work with. So I'm gonna leave that decision up to you. But Saint Expedite was coming through. Now that is the one. If you ever wanted to put a time frame on something and you wanted to really expedite something, then that is who you would call on. And generally, I find Saint Expedite will work with so many individuals across the board, no matter what spirits you generally work with. So look into that if that's something that seems like it calls to you. Just felt like I wanted to bring that to the forefront. Before we get started, let me give you my little spiel. You are a sovereign being of your life. You get to determine if, how, when, where, why any of these messages might apply. So my recommendation to you is not Cinderella anything to make it fit. Okay. Fantastic. And I got candles. My child was telling me last night, "Ooh, this one smells like this," and I thought he was just making some stuff up, because I got different colors of candles and stuff, and apparently they do. So let's hope that I don't get like woo from it because I smell a very frou-frou smell from it. I did not sniff them. They're just basic colorful candles. I thought, no way, but yes way. And my child knew what he's talking about, so I was like, oh, okay. Because sometimes he'll be like, "Oh, this smells like Christmas," it's just because it's green. And I was like, but I'm smelling it. I'm like, they do have smells. Anywho, where are we gonna start? I am. Uh, somebody may is not lightheaded, but I don't really know. Like somebody might be having sinus issues, maybe. Hey, they have it set up weird on here. Now they've got the timestamp in the front. I don't know. I haven't. I played around with the chat and it was like, anyways. So somebody might be having like sinus issues. It is fall where I'm at. Sinus issues are a thing. You might feel woo, or you might be on medicine that makes you feel a little woo. But that had started, and I was like, wow, I don't know where that came from. So we're gonna. All right, where are we going? Remember, this is coffee and tarot. We're not asking anything, and spirit gets to kind of go in whatever direction spirit wants to go in. So we're not entering into this with any questions or anything like that. We're gonna start with Night Sun Tarot. I've told you all this before. I have this spider that has built a web, and I have intentionally not torn it down. Okay. This is a general reading, so it's not for individual readings. And again, I don't know what's going on or why all of a sudden the camera is doing this whitewashed, gray washed, beige washed look. I don't understand. I might have to like lower the. Usually the light doesn't. You know what I'm saying? Anyway. All right, give me just a minute. Mm, This is the Nine of Wands, but I'm taking a look at it because it looks. I'm sorry, but right now I'm getting irritated because my forehead looks bigger than my face. But this looks like a like someone building their throne. See? I mean, maybe. Holy shit. We have the Seven of Wands and the Nine of Wands. This is this is uh standing up for your beliefs, willing to fight for your beliefs, willing to create distance between you and things that don't align with your beliefs. This is happening a lot right now in society, especially in the United States. There's a lot of division, but you can argue that people tried to sow division. But for the most part, people can only capitalize on something that is already in existence. Um, just think about that for a minute. But this feels like creating a barrier, placing you back in your sense of authority over your life, and an unwillingness to allow. They're giving me like the like a moat or like some kind of barrier for your bubble. You're like, I'm not going to let anything through in regards to this that doesn't align with me, that poses even the most remote threat. If there's a potentiality, then it's not getting through. This is about something not getting through, but for the right reason, for you, because you do love yourself, because you do respect yourself, because you're consistent, trustworthy, honest. There's something about the consistent, like I'm this way consistently. I'm not a fair weather, whatever. I'm this way all the time. There's something about some other energy that feels so inconsistent to you that it feels like a threat. It feels like uh, if you invest or trust it in any way, that it could create difficulties for you. You don't trust something that's not consistent. So it's almost like either you only want others who have strong boundaries, who stand their ground and know their truth and you know that kind of thing. Like it's not getting through. Something's not going to get through. Judgment. Yeah, if it's not consistent, if you can't if somebody or something, I feel like this is people. I think that you have a social barrier up. I heard for bullshit, but okay. You have some kind of like a barrier where if you find like somebody doesn't align with, there's no more compromising, holding space for waiting. Like somebody would have to prove to you that they somehow changed before you'd ever entertain their energy. Because judgment is like you're calling judgment on some people in your life, it sounds like. You're calling judgment on a lot of people. Like this is the standard by which you make your decisions. You call your judgment on whether or not somebody is allowed remotely close to you. We're seeing that a lot right now. You're going to see it a lot on social media right now where people say one thing and then push come to shove and it's like there's suddenly a safe space for other unsafe individuals, which now marks them as unsafe. Does that make sense? Like fair weather allies, people who do or say something for the sake of egoic praise, so they look like they're in the right, really don't stand for, again, standing for your beliefs. They don't stand for anything. They're not consistent. You're not letting that in your energy. Tower gone. People are, I think that actually goes with the judgment card. It is, you have no, I don't care how long of a history, how short of a history. I don't care how much you have admired somebody. The moment they show you that they've not been showing you exactly who they are, when they, I feel like they're not consistent with their word. They're not consistent with their morals. They're not consistent with um their truth. It's a circumstantial. And the tower, you're like, you're willing to rip the rug out from underneath. It doesn't matter. And the tower, for some people, it's like all it means is that I don't ever really associate with you. I've not had a previous anything. And there's something about like a tower. This tower feels more. I don't care if something was meant to be fated or there's like a soul level connection or spiritual anything. I will rip the rug. I'm not holding space or waiting for someone to move through and evolve. There's zero tolerance anymore for allow like giving space for that. They can do that somewhere else. And mere words are not going to be sufficient enough. Because you shouldn't have to worry. I shouldn't have to question whether you're trustworthy. The nine of swords. Are you going to be like this? Are you going to be like there's again inconsistency. There's a Cardi B song. She's like, you got me questioning myself when you're the one that's inconsistent or something like that. Because you're inconsistent. Like I want to say your mental health, your emotional health, and your safety are of utmost importance. And if I can't clearly see exactly where you are, that only leaves me in the nine of swords. So as soon as you show me who you are, like Maya Angelou would say, believe somebody when they tell you the first time. There's no moving back. There's no revisiting or revisioning something. That is now who you are. Now I have a barrier up. You're the only one. That's why I like this throne. Like you're the one that has that authority, and you intend like the judgment to execute that. You are not going to invest if you have to remotely question where someone stands. If somebody gives you any reason to remotely doubt or get in your head about where they stand, you are not going to invest in them. This is the Four of Pentacles. And Four of Pentacles talks about the past, present, and the future. It's like, I don't care what you've done for me in the past or who you've been in the past. I don't care what's happening right now, and like it's there is no more further movement. I will not You're not getting any space for the 9 of swords in your life. Because you'd rather be fucking wrong than be stuck in this space wondering what's what. So your willingness to walk away is on point because you care more about your inner peace and harmony than you do anything else. These cups are balanced. The scales are balanced. I'm not going to risk my emotional state just to wait and see, just to hold space for you, you're not fucking compromising. Because when you do that and you allow yourself to be in the 9 of swords about somebody, and this back and forth with the 4 of pentacles are like, should I not? If it's not a fuck yes, it's a fuck no. Your inner peace matters most. You will, like, it's not even funny, walk the fuck away. And again, 4 of wands, I don't care if we have a soul level bond. I don't care how long you've played like if we are 4 of wands would represent a very important soul contract. Like there's no level of exception. There's no room for exception in your life right now. There's no room for exception in this. I don't care who you thought you were or who I thought you were or who. Mm-mm. And in fact, I feel like this is also because of the four of pentacles. Again, past, present, future. Because generally with the Rider Waite, there's pentacles under the feet representing the past. There's a pentacle that she holds in her lap, present, and then a pentacle over her crown that represents the potentialities, the future. Right? Like this is like telling spirit, like don't let anybody enter into my life. I don't care if I have a contract with them or not. I don't care if they're a part of my soul group or not. I don't care because you're redefining at this point who or what gets to be in that. Like you're putting it out there, it's cut off. Again, you are the authority in this. You're sitting on your throne. And as with any king or queen, with like the 9 of wands says, it's harder to get to them. There are extra protections that are put in place. I'm not going to let a motherfucker pull me down. I'm not going to let somebody pull me out of balance. I'm not going to let somebody sow seeds of doubt or question in my mind about where they stand if they're safe. I don't care how long I've known you. I don't care if I just met you. I don't care if it's somebody that's meant to come into my life. I'm calling it now. And I feel like there's somebody here who is contemplating pulling the plug on what's meant to be, like a potentiality. Because 7 of Pentacles is the idea that it hasn't broken ground yet. And so you may have turned your back on somebody that you thought had potential in your life to be, more than just an acquaintance, because we have surrounding this 4 of wands, the 8 of cups, like I'm gonna walk away. I have no qualms about it. And the 7 of pentacles, meaning you're still waiting for something to pop off. You're still waiting for something to break ground. Tell me more about that, please. I I think you saw something heading in a particular direction. I don't know. There's something that you saw. There was. Uh, I never sneeze just once. It's anywhere from 3 to 7 times, y'all. 3 of Wands talks about something coming in, a desire finally coming in, wish fulfillment, your abundance, your ships, something that you've been waiting to come in. You are almost ready to walk away before it ever even starts. And my question is, I think this is beyond this can move into again, it's not just sequestered to what is right now or the circumstances that are happening in the world, but this is like, I know my worth. I'm calling judgment on some shit. I don't know if you've seen something that had you questioning a potential person and you're like, never mind. But I feel like you have just put out the APB on nothing better approach me if they're in that energy. If they're not consistent, if I have to question anything. And I think that you have redefined what it means to question, because it feels as if you may have given grace in certain circumstances. And I feel like somebody's turned into more of a hard ass in regards to this. Like, I am no longer willing to be anybody's learning curve. The idea of something has happened collectively where it's like, I'm not holding space anymore. I'm not gonna, yeah, but all of this is good except for I'm not doing that anymore. Somebody has gotten more stringent about what they will and will not allow. And they're standing on business and they mean it. And something you've seen that is meant to come towards you, you may be like, you know what? Keep it if it's gonna. Something has made you waver on a potential. You are very much so willing to walk away before anything pops off. You don't care. And I think that you've already put it out, like, I'm not going to invest if I have any questions. And this could be for any reason. If like, sometimes, there's the toxic level of, we'll let somebody work through something. But the thing that I have learned, especially in spirituality, is I used to always want to be available, not for everybody, but for a larger group of people, right? And it was always considered holding space for somebody when they were working through something, or like, I see their potential and so they can evolve, and I'll just overlook this one little thing, or how they spoke to me, or how they treat me with others, or just little things, like, they're going through something right now, and it's like there's no more grace. There's no more grace on that end. This is not an expectation of perfection. But let's face it, if you have to question and worry, and it's like, if like you have a more well-defined understanding or list of things that make you not feel safe with a person. And frankly, it doesn't matter. Someone else's list may look different than yours, but this is your list. You're like, I'm not willing to get in my head over anything. And if I do, then it's just not for me. You have very much so developed this, and and I want to say, I can't completely remove current circumstances of what's happening in the world as not having an influence on you, and you tightening that belt. It's as if you will not tolerate others fence sitting, which good for you because in a world where there is no fence, what fucking fence are you talking about? I'm neutral. There's no such thing. We're all part of this existence. Okay. Therefore, there's no neutrality. If you were in the etheric and not a part of this existence, I could understand you saying, I'm neutral. But bitch, you in here too. The fuck are you talking about? There is no such thing as middle, like this idea of how long have we been fighting for the fucking middle ground? When people feel like they have met the middle ground, it really means that they are in a comfortable position where things are not impacting them so they can turn a blind eye. That's what the fuck that means. There's no such thing in the 3D reality as fence sitting or being neutral in something. Get the fuck out of here. With everything being such a spectrum, okay, tell me where that neutrality lands. Because I guarantee your neutral is not going to be somebody else's. So let's stop the shit. You're tightening your belt on what you expect and you're not budging. And that's a good thing. And if it means cutting potentials out, fucking fine. Because I just think that your list just got real. If it was ever like murky before, it's damn perfectly clear right now. So, but yet I still see this coming towards you. And you are of the mind, like you're about ready to just be like, never mind. It's like a manifestation or like a connection, a soul connection. This could be soul tribe trying to show up. This could be, like soul family, whatever the fuck you want to call it. You know what I mean? Or a person, a soulmate. And you're like, it better not be. Like, I don't know. You just feel like you're putting a warning out, like, because I won't. If somebody tries to tell you that you need to have grace for somebody else because you're not perfect, tell them to shut the fuck up, first and foremost, because whatever you're allowed to have a level of what's considered to be bare minimum to you. I won't take any less than this. And if you fall below the line for somebody else, so be it. You're not in alignment. But don't let anybody gaslight you that you somehow need to be accommodating, compassionate. Like that would irritate the dark feminine so fucking bad. Don't tell me where my boundary lies, okay? Don't tell me what I've got to do in order to care for me. I am my own authority, not you. And that in and of itself might be a red flag for you in regards to that person. You do with it as you wish. I'm sorry, I'm trying to catch up. Hold on one second. You need to be doing you when this person comes around. He makes me so anxious. He does fit in the description you gave almost 2 years back. Okay. You cautioned me. It's a solid option. You sure you want to walk away? I quit with him. Myself for doubting this man. Oh. I don't remember nothing, y'all. Which is probably a good thing because it means that I'm actually disengaging from some of the reads that I do, you know what I'm saying? But because sometimes I get too wrapped up in them and then I'm like, I'll remember all the details of every little thing. And I'm like, So I don't remember. I don't remember. Um, yeah, I don't remember. I'm sorry. But I do hope this is beneficial. Uh, okay, where are we gonna go from here? Hold on one second. Let me get back in. They want new era elements. Well, we've got Nine of Pentacles, which would be the badass bitch on their own. And then there's the Six of Wands right underneath that. This is the autonomous, sovereign, individualistic energy, in my opinion. The ability to do fine just on your own. Yeah, you'd rather be on your own than disappointed. Like you're fine with it. You'll be okay with it. So there's a very solid understanding of what you do and don't want and what will and will not compromise you and what is and is not a compromise on your boundaries. So this is just kind of like I am fine being by myself. I'd rather be by myself than to enter into anything that creates more disappointment in my life, right? I'm good. I'll maintain. Okay. So this is what you've put out there. What does spirit have? What do you have to say about this, spirit? Because it looks like it's still trying to come in. For some, for others, this hasn't even arrived yet. It's still on its way to you. Son of a biscuit eater. Sorry. Tell me. We have the King of Wands and the Queen of Swords. For some, this may represent the signs of the individuals, air and fire. But it is the idea of the King of Wands, single focused, coming straight towards you. Queen of Swords, that sword is pulled up. Because it's like, spirit, as soon as I see, it's a no. But this may be something that I'm getting where you still have to make the decision. So it may still come to you, and you have to be the one to like the judgment card, call the judgment on this. And I think that's why the tower is there, is because one way or the other, this is a major fated moment. If nothing else, Spirit is here to tell you, just because they arrived does not mean that that is something that Spirit's saying you have to have, but they are saying they cannot interfere in what is coming towards you, because what was written most of all is that you get to make the decision. It must be your choice. Meaning that you are not going to say, Spirit, if they're like this, you can go ahead and remove them. That would be putting it on Spirit to determine if they meet that qualification or not. You are the one that will get to determine that. It has to be you. So it's your sword is going to be drawn, ready, prepared if you have to. Um, so if somebody shows up that's not quite what you like, you're like, wait a minute, I just said no. S- Just know that this was already on its way. And this is a situation where spirit doesn't get to determine that this person meets the things that you said you didn't like. You suddenly changed and said, no, I don't want this. Even if you had listed out some major thing, even if you said now, I don't want this, they're not going to stop it. They're not going to stop this person from entering your life. You have to be the one to swing that sword. You have to be the one to make the judgment call that they like you don't get to give that to spirit. Yeah, because this is meant to come together. You've been guided together. If you now have a more well defined understanding of what you do and don't want, then you get to be the determining factor. You get to determine that. It's not that the choice is being taken away. It's not the spirit trying to force this. It's just that in this predisposed, predestined scenario, you have to be the one to decide. Does this person create any sense of, I don't know, or doubt, a little anxiety, fear? Do you feel as if you are not 100% sure that they are consistent with who they're showing you that they are? Can you trust it? Those are all for you. We have the Emperor with the Four of Wands again. This is about what feels like a partner that's coming in. And this is going to be especially true. And now I understand because there's a lot of factors happening in the world today, right now, specifically, especially with women and persons of color, and even more in particular, the Black community. And so, I'd say recent events, it's not that it's not something you weren't aware of, but you may have locked, you, again, you tighten the belt. You don't have room for somebody to have a learning curve. I feel like you're at this point where like either they show up exactly how I expect them to be, or it's a no. I'm not giving grace to anybody. It's giving a former like somebody who is it's like a divine masculine working through their shit and removing all the old programming, but still having like little bits and pieces in there. And you're like, no, either they show up fully healed and in their truth with strong boundaries. And you're not doing this shit where, well, I used to have really lax boundaries too. Oh, well, you don't anymore. So now they must show up in that same energy. You're crystal clear. They better fucking be crystal clear. You better be able to tell exactly where the fuck they stand. You're not letting a motherfucker in. I don't care. This person is in some capacity, does have a soul contract with you, may be a divine partner of some sort, right? There's varying degrees, blah, 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 blah. We're not putting labels on shit, but I mean, at this point, that doesn't matter. I feel like they better have already worked through all of that shit and be where they need to be because the moment I feel this, it's done. And in fact, I feel as if what you're saying is if I catch wind of anything in their personality, their persona, their morals, their beliefs, their speech that tells me I might even remotely experience this, they're gonna get cut off. And all I have to say is, you're not wrong. Because when I fell into the dark feminine, I almost feel as if it's like, as if it would be any other way. He is being guided. He, she, the masculine is being guided towards you. But you are on more of an alert right now. Okay. We're almost about done because I think the message is it's still going to come in and you get to make that decision. You're not willing, again, there's no such thing right now in your world as a difference of opinion. Like you're more, it's things do not get to be written off anymore as a difference of opinion or, oh, just seeing the world a little bit differently. You're like, no. Most of my pain has come from people who saw the world differently than me. You want perfect alignment. You're not letting anything interfere with your energy, the temperance card. And I want to say, so whenever this motherfucker show up, he better be where he needs to be. There's the 5 of Wands. Again, you're just, there's no compromise. I'm not going to wait for, like, there's a learning curve with the 5 of Wands, because that's why they've got the wands instead of swords and all, they might get banged up and bruised and all kinds of stuff, but no one's really, you know what I'm saying? It's training, it's an exercise, it's development. Well, motherfucker better be done by the time he shows up. Because if I catch wind, you it's going to be peace over conflict any and every fucking day. I'm not compromising. I like this though. We got the universe, the empress. Fucking yes, fucking yes, fucking yes. The universe and the empress. This is my world. I get to determine what comes into it. I get to determine what I see within my environment. I'm not letting. I just feel like I've got the whole world in front of me. Why would I slow down for this motherfucker if he doesn't show up right? And like I said, there's been a recent lockdown on, oh, I expect this, or else it's not happening. Like you're not limiting yourself. You know what the hell you deserve. And here's the thing, you can give it to yourself. So why would you're very comfortable in the 9 of Pentacles. The thought of, oh, but I might not get this, it doesn't work anymore. Oh, but this might be the one, and then I'll miss out. And no, no, it doesn't work. It doesn't work on you anymore. You've changed. 6 of Swords. You've transformed. You've alchemized, and you know that if there's changes to the plan, if you end up on a different course than your quote unquote person, or if you have to spend a little bit more time alone, you're perfectly fine. You'll transition easily. You will have a successful transition. Period, point blank. We got the 6 of Wands with the 6 of Swords. Don't worry about that. I can alchemize any fucking situation to benefit me. I will win in life. I don't need that. And there's a lot of people who will say it, but like I said, they'll go like 90% of the way. And because they've 90%, and then 10% they're willing to waffle and waver. And I think there's a difference between compromising and collaborating. You're willing to collaborate, you're not willing to compromise. You're real clear on what you will not compromise. See, oh, my bad. I'm getting the win, 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 no matter what. That song. I can't do it. I can't start it where it needs to start. We have three sixes on the board right in a row. We have the Six of Pentacles, the Six of Swords, and the Six of Wands. I feel like maybe old you might have been worried about if things didn't go your way, like being derailed by something like the Three of Swords or the Five of Cups. And it's like, I mean, no pain is comparable to forsaking the self, to having to compromise the self in order to accommodate somebody to come into your life. You can take whatever loss or pain comes your way. You can alchemize the shit out of it. You can get what you need. You know you can get what you need regardless. And you know that you'll still have victory. Somebody's really solid in this right now. You may have been experiencing recently, like you may have been like, I really want this. Like I feel no longing right now. You may used to have longed for this or anticipated it or was like excited for it. And there's something in you where you're like, you're not even hinged or waiting to hear if it is or isn't going to happen. You're just like, "Mm." It's like a with or without you kind of an energy. Just remember, stay in that energy. Stay in it because it is still coming towards you. At least at this point. And if it shows up, it's not a disrespect to you. It's not a disregard from spirit. It is a, we do not get to interfere in this. This is 100% you. We hear you. We understand you. We're proud of you. And, but we don't get to make the determination. There's something about you don't even get to decide until it shows up right in front of you. So you can't preemptively be like, if they're not like this, you have to be the one to decide whether they're like that or not. So it's going to show up into your reality. And who knows, maybe by then you're going to have your mind made up anyways and you're gonna be like, "Pfft," but it's still going to show up because you have to be the one to make the decision. You have to decide. Um Alrighty. Well, that is the message. I hope it finds those who it's meant for. I hope everybody has a fantastic and wonderful day. Again, a shout out to Saint Expedite because their energy was showing up in this. That may be for somebody to exercise, like to get to know. That might be an invitation. I'm gonna leave that up to you and your own discernment to know if that's for you or not. But all right, I hope everybody has a fantastic day, and I will see you guys at the next.